we are going to watch another one of my favorite cartoons from my childhood in the 70s, growing up. It's another Schoolhouse Rock video called I'm Just a Bill. And we're going to put its very simple steps into a flowchart, which we're going to make a little more complex based on how things actually go. So the first thing you want to do when you open up your bill into law flowchart is we're going to view it. 100% is going to work just fine for this one. All right. So as we watch the video, it's going to say that the citizens first see a need for a law, and that's how it starts. So let's watch a little bit, and then we'll pause it when we need to.
Whew, you sure gotta climb a lot of steps to get to this Capitol building here in Washington. Well, I wonder who that sad little scrap of paper is.
I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I'm sitting here on Capitol Hill. Well, it's a long, long journey to the capital city. It's a long, long wait while I'm sitting in committee, but I know I'll be a law someday. At least I hope and pray that I will, but today I am still just a bill.
Gee, Bill, you certainly have a lot of patience and courage.
Well, I got this far. When I started, I wasn't even a bill. I was just an idea. Some folks back home decided they wanted a law passed, so they called their local congressman, and he said, "You're right, there ought to be a law." Then he sat down and wrote me out and introduced me to Congress, and I became a bill.
Citizens see a need for a law. Let's go ahead and click on the border here, and we'll hit copy paste so we can make an exact copy of that box. They tell their local congressperson. Paste again, get another identical box, gonna match it up with this one, writes a bill. And the bill is like a law, but it doesn't have the power of a law yet. All right, I made the box a little bigger to fix that, okay? Let's put some connections in. Going to elbow connector. And we'll put an arrow going to there. Do the same thing here, even though it's not going to elbow. Oh, maybe it will elbow a little bit. That's fine. Okay. All right. So far the citizens see a need for a law. They tell their congressperson who writes a bill. What happens next?
And I'll remain a bill until they decide to make me a law. I'm just a bill, yes, I'm only a bill, and I got as far as Capitol Hill. Well, now I'm stuck in committee, and I'll sit here and wait while a few key congressmen discuss and debate whether they should let me be a law. I hope and pray that they will, but today I am still just a bill.
All right, so if it's seemed worthy enough, if it's deemed worthy enough, let me paste another, take that box that I've pasted, bring it down here. Bill gets debated in a committee. Which is made up of select Congress people, depending on who is interested in the bill and all sorts of different things. That looks better. Get our elbow connector and boom. Oh, it didn't take the arrow on that one. Now it will. All right.
Listen to those congressmen arguing. Is all that discussion and debate about you?
Yeah, I'm one of the lucky ones. Most bills never even get this far. I hope they decide to report on me favorably, otherwise I may die.
Die?
Yeah, die in committee. Oh, but...
Aha. So bills may not necessarily make it. Let me go ahead and paste another box. I'm going to kind of put it in the middle. Because when a bill dies, it does not become a law. It is no longer debated. It's gone. All right? And as we could tell, sometimes that happens after the congressperson writes the bill, right? He says a lot of bills don't even make it to committee. So some bills may not even make it to the committee. Some bills, as he just mentioned, while they're being debated, they may say this is not worth it, and it may die there. Okay? So a bill can go to committee where it could be killed, or it may not even ever make it to committee. He said most bills never even make it to a committee. So I'm actually going to make that arrow a little heavier to kind of show that this is where most of them go. I'm going to make that a 3-point line. All right, just to give you an idea, most bills go that way.
But it looks like I'm going to live. Now I go to the House of Representatives and they vote on me.
If they vote yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
If the committee can agree that it should be a law, and they send it to the House where it is voted on. So let's add another box. This one is going to say, bill is voted on in House O Reps, the House of Representatives. Stretch this box a little bit. There we go. Let's make this nice and neat. Get our elbow connector in there. And then he said that it could go over to the Senate where they vote on it. So let's watch that a little bit and I'll explain that. Notice how he went from one side of the Capitol to the other? This is the side of the Capitol, the House of Representatives that's making the bill. And if they say yes, then it goes over to the Senate.
Oh, yes, what happens?
Then I go to the Senate and the whole thing starts all over again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. And if they vote for me on Capitol Hill, well, then I'm off to the White House where I'll wait in a line.
So it's voted on in the House of Reps. Before we get to that, let me see if I can show you something. I'm going to take all these boxes and I'm going to copy and paste them because I want all these boxes over here. Where did they go? And we're going to change them just a little bit. So the next thing I need to show you is a bill can also be started in the Senate. So I'm going to take this thing. A citizen may call a senator or somebody else. It doesn't have to be a citizen. Sometimes a senator or a congressperson or the president or anybody who thinks they need a law to have happen can call their congressperson, or it can happen in the Senate too. So a bill can be proposed also in the Senate, all right? And then the senator would create the bill. I don't like how this is going. Let's do it here. So see how I'm moving these things around? So senator writes a bill. I'm just going to change all these boxes to say Senate instead of Congress. There we go. So a bill can be started in the Senate. The senator writes a bill. The bill may die. If not, it goes to a committee. So to get back to our little song, it was voted on in the House of Representatives. And of course, it could die, right? But it also can be voted on in the House of Reps. So I'm going to take it from down here. And if that happens, then it's actually debated in a Senate committee. Let me move this box out of the way now. And hopefully everybody, there we go. Everything's going to move around. I'm going to make this one red so we can tell that it's dying here. And I'm going to make this one red so we can tell that it's dying here. All right. So see that? If you want to, let's go ahead and make all these red. So that we can clearly see when a bill dies. All right. So the bill has been sent to a committee in the Senate, even though it started in the House of Representatives. A congressperson wrote it. They debated it. they voted on it and it's passed, it goes to the Senate, they debate it all over again. And it may not make it to a Senate vote, but so it could be killed there, but if it does make it to a Senate vote, then you'll see what happens. All right? So this is kind of it could be a two-step process. Same thing happens the other way. If the bill starts in the Senate, senator writes a bill, they have a committee originally in the Senate, it then goes and is voted on in the Senate, then, of course, that could be killed, right? If the Senate votes no on their own bill, then that's also going to be killed. Or if the Senate votes yes, guess what? Then the bill goes over to a Congressional Committee. No, I don't want that. Undo. I want to make another connector. If the Senate votes yes, then it is sent to a Congressional Committee, which still overlaps with that. So let me move that one more time. Let's get that bill dies up a little higher. There we go. All right. So there's a lot of back and forth here. Whoever creates the bill, if it's in the Senate and they vote on it, it goes to a Congressional Committee. And then they vote on it possibly in the House of Reps. Now, in order for it to go to the president's desk, it has to go through both houses. If it starts in the Congress, then it's going to be sent to the Senate, where they debate it, then vote on it. If it starts in the Senate, then it could be sent to the House, where they have a committee that debates it and vote on it. When both houses pass them, let's paste again. Oh, I don't want that whole paste. Let me undo that. Edit, undo. So let's go back and take this first box, copy it again, and paste it. And I'm going to bring this box way down here. And I'm going to say, when passed through both houses, the Senate says yes. Put the arrow in. Let's make this one green, because at this point, it's going to go to the president, who can decide whether or not it's going to become a law. And I want another elbow connector. When both houses pass it, then it goes to the executive branch. It goes to the president.
With a lot of other bills for the president to sign. And if he signs me, then I'll be a law. How I hope and pray that he will. But today I am still just a bill.
You mean even if the whole Congress says you should be a law, the president can still say no?
Yes, that's called a veto. If the president vetoes me, I have to go back to Congress and they vote on me again, and by that time you're so
By
old.
that time, it's very unlikely that you become a law. It's not easy to become a law, is it?
No, but how I hope and pray that I will. But today I am still just a bill.
He signed your bill. Now you're a law.
Oh, yes.
Seems pretty simple, right? When passed by both houses, goes to the president. So the president can say yes, or the president can veto it. That's the president's two choices. And when they say becomes law, it becomes a law. Something that everybody has to obey. All right, so when it's passed by both houses, let's connect all these boxes now. We're almost there. It goes to the president. The president can do one of two things. The president can say yes. If the president says yes, bill becomes a law. If the president says no, that's called a veto, and then it goes back to where it started. All right, so if it started in the House, it goes back to the House into a committee once again. Isn't that crazy? And if it started in the Senate, then it goes back to the Senate committee. When it's passed by both houses the first time, it goes to the president. If the president vetoed it, and it went back to wherever it started, whether it was the Senate or the House, they can do the committee and vote on it. If they say yes, it goes to the other side again. And if both houses agree, and it takes a supermajority this time, then it bypasses the president's veto and becomes a law. So it's gone through both the House and Senate a second time. Then guess what? That becomes a law. It bypasses the president. The president can only veto it the first time it goes through. It just takes a simple majority for it to go through to the president the first time in either the House or the Senate. But if the president says veto, and then it goes through again, it takes a supermajority, 2/3, and then it becomes a law. So let me move this down here. Yes, there we go. So we can see this better. All right, let's move this one over to the side. I don't like it how it crosses over boxes. Except I need it to connect to the bill becomes law. There we go. Okay, so that's it. That's how a bill becomes a law. Not too simple, is it? And they did that on purpose. They wanted to make sure laws weren't easily written. Okay? Can you see that? When it goes to the House a second time, it comes away, it bypasses the president, and becomes a law. All right. And again, also the veto, if the House doesn't want to pick it up again, or the Senate doesn't want to pick it up again, when the president says no, it can go from there straight to death again. Poor little Bill. That's why you see him being all sad on there. All right? That's what happens with most of them. If a president vetoes a bill, it usually dies, because it's going to be pretty hard for Congress to get a supermajority. All right. So that's all you need to do for this one. Good luck. And if it's not clean, I don't care. If your lines go over your boxes, it'll be all right.